If you've ever wondered how the Amish feed big families on small budgets without sacrificing flavor or quality, you're in for a treat. These recipes don't just save money, they bring people together around the dinner table with hearty, homemade meals that cost pennies per serving. And here's the kicker, most use simple ingredients you probably already have in your kitchen. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell so you never miss a down-to-earth, budget-friendly video like this one. Now let's get cooking the Amish way: cheap, simple, and delicious. 1. Amish chicken corn soup, made with a homemade broth from leftover chicken bones, corn, egg noodles, and a few pantry spices. This soup is a staple in Amish households. It's thick, rich, and can feed a crowd with just a few ingredients. Add hard-boiled eggs if you want to make it more filling. That's a Lancaster County trick. You'll often see this soup served at community gatherings, church suppers, or quilting bees. It's comfort in a bowl, and the kind of dish that tastes even better the next day. Some families also add bits of celery or carrots depending on what's available. Whether served with crackers, fresh bread, or just as is, this humble soup brings warmth and flavor without costing much. 2. Shule Pie, a dessert that comes from necessity: brown sugar, flour, molasses, and water, baked in a simple pie crust. No eggs, no dairy, just sweet, sticky heaven for less than $1 a slice. It was originally made to last for days on the counter, if you can keep your hands off it, that is. The top is often crumbly, while the bottom is gooey and rich, kind of like a sticky toffee pudding in a crust. Some variations include a wet bottom version with extra molasses, which gives it a deeper caramelized flavor. It's the kind of dessert that reminds you simple ingredients done right can still blow away anything store-bought. 3. Potato cakes. Leftover mashed potatoes? Don't waste them. Mix with an egg, a little flour, and fry them in butter or lard. Crispy on the outside, fluffy inside. These are perfect for breakfast or a cheap side dish. The Amish often serve them alongside eggs, sausage, or even a drizzle of homemade gravy. You can spice them up with a pinch of onion powder or chopped chives for a boost of flavor. And if you have leftover vegetables, mix those in too. It's one of those clean out the fridge dishes that turn scraps into something satisfying. Plus, they reheat beautifully in a skillet, making them perfect for second-day meals. 4. Baked oatmeal. Instead of sugary box cereal, the Amish often prepare baked oatmeal with oats, milk, eggs, cinnamon, and a touch of brown sugar. It's baked in the oven, and a tray can feed 6 to 8 people. Serve warm with a splash of milk. Some families toss in chopped apples, raisins, or nuts, depending on what's in season or in the pantry. It's hearty, filling, and keeps kids full until lunchtime. You can prepare it the night before and bake it fresh in the morning, making it a time saver too. Unlike stovetop oatmeal, this version holds its texture and feels more like a breakfast casserole. 5. Cabbage noodles. Sauté cabbage and onions in butter or bacon grease, then toss with egg noodles. This dish costs less than $3 to make and tastes like comfort in a bowl. Add a few caraway seeds for that classic Amish twist. Sometimes a bit of garlic or crumbled bacon gets added for depth. It's a versatile meal that works great as a side dish or a main course with a slice of bread. Cabbage is cheap and stores well, making this a go-to during the winter months. It's humble food, filling, savory, and far tastier than it sounds. Great for feeding large families without breaking the bank. 6. Poor man's steak. Ground beef mixed with breadcrumbs, eggs, and seasoning, formed into patties, browned, and then baked in gravy. It mimics steak texture and flavor at a fraction of the cost. Serve with mashed potatoes and green beans. The gravy soaks into the patties, making them incredibly tender and flavorful. Add mushrooms or onions to the gravy for extra richness. It's a beloved comfort food in Amish homes, especially during cold months. 7. Amish macaroni salad. Elbow macaroni, chopped veggies, boiled eggs, and a sweet creamy dressing made from mayo, vinegar, and sugar. It's a picnic favorite that keeps well and uses inexpensive ingredients. Often made in large batches, it's perfect for gatherings or potlucks. Some Amish recipes add a little mustard or celery seed for extra zing. Chill it overnight for the best flavor. It gets even better the next day. You can also toss in diced pickles or shredded cheese for added taste and texture, making it even more satisfying and filling. 8. Homemade egg noodles. Eggs, flour, a pinch of salt, and a rolling pin. That's all you need. These noodles are cheap, filling, and can stretch any soup or casserole. After rolling them out thin, they're cut into strips and air-dried or cooked fresh. You can boil them in broth for a heartier dish. These homemade noodles absorb flavor beautifully and have a soft, chewy texture that store-bought can't match. Some Amish cooks even add a bit of butter or herbs to the dough for extra richness and depth of flavor. 9. Fried cornmeal mush. Cook cornmeal into a thick porridge. Let it cool in a loaf pan, then slice and fry. It's crispy on the outside and soft inside. Best served with molasses or maple syrup. Costs just pennies to make. Some Amish sprinkle it with cinnamon or serve it alongside eggs for breakfast. It's a traditional food that makes use of simple pantry staples and fills you up for hours. 10. Ham and bean soup. Use a ham bone, even just leftover scraps, and dried beans. Simmer low and slow for a protein-rich soup that can feed the whole family. Season with bay leaves, onions, and black pepper. Add chopped carrots or celery to stretch it further. It's a great way to use leftovers and create something hearty and warming. Let it sit overnight for deeper flavor. It tastes even better the next day. 11. Dandelion salad with hot bacon dressing. When dandelions are in season, the Amish harvest the greens for free. Toss with hard-boiled eggs and pour over a warm dressing made from bacon drippings, vinegar, and sugar. Tangy, sweet, and practically free. The hot dressing wilts the greens slightly, giving them a tender texture without cooking away their nutrition. Some families even add sliced onions or a touch of mustard to deepen the flavor. It's a nostalgic dish, often served with homemade bread and eaten fresh from the garden. 12. Bread and butter pickles. Cheap cucumbers become gold with a mix of vinegar, sugar, and mustard seed. These pickles are sweet, tangy, and make every sandwich better. The Amish preserve them in jars to enjoy all year. Often made in big batches during cucumber season, they require no special equipment and last for months. A little turmeric gives them a lovely golden hue, and sliced onions add extra flavor. Whether on burgers or eaten straight from the jar, they're a pantry staple with unbeatable taste and value. 13. Zucchini fritters. When gardens overflow with zucchini, Amish cooks grate them, add flour, eggs, and onion, then fry into golden fritters. They're light, crispy, and incredibly cheap to make. Some versions include shredded cheese or herbs for extra richness, and a dash of pepper or garlic can add zing. Serve with sour cream, applesauce, or even tomato slices on the side. These fritters freeze well too, so extras never go to waste. It's a perfect example of making something delicious out of surplus produce. 14. Chicken pot pie. Not baked, this one's more of a stew with big squares of homemade noodles, chicken, potatoes, and carrots. It's rich, filling, and turns a single chicken into multiple meals. The homemade dough is rolled and cut into thick, soft noodles that soak up the broth. Every bite is hearty and comforting. It's a Sunday favorite in many Amish homes, often made from scratch using backyard chickens and garden vegetables. This dish stretches ingredients far and brings the family together around the table. 15. Buttermilk biscuits. Flour, baking powder, butter, and buttermilk. These biscuits puff up beautifully and cost almost nothing. The Amish serve them with sausage gravy or apple butter. Light and fluffy inside with a crispy top, they're a breakfast favorite that also pairs well with stews or soups. Some versions include lard instead of butter for a more traditional flavor. These biscuits are quick to make, freeze well, and bring warmth to every meal, especially when pulled straight from a wood-fired oven. 16. Mock apple pie. No apples? No problem. Amish cooks used Ritz crackers, cinnamon, and sugar to mimic apple pie, and it works. It's a Depression-era trick that still impresses. The crackers soften during baking and take on the texture of cooked apples, while lemon juice and cinnamon complete the illusion. It's baked in a standard pie crust and often topped with whipped cream or served warm with ice cream. Even modern cooks are surprised by how close it tastes to the real thing, all for pennies. 17. Slippery dumplings. Flat, wide dumplings cooked in chicken broth. Think chicken and dumplings without the puff. Just soft, chewy noodles that stretch a small amount of meat into a full meal. These dumplings are rolled thin and cut by hand, then simmered slowly in rich broth until tender. The result is a filling, comforting dish that's incredibly economical. Some Amish families add a few vegetables or a splash of cream, but the basics never change. Simple, satisfying, and made to feed a crowd. 18. Applesauce cake. Moist, spiced, and made with leftover applesauce, this cake needs no frosting. It keeps well, uses no fancy ingredients, and tastes like fall in every bite. The warm cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves create a rich aroma while baking, and the applesauce keeps it soft for days. Raisins or walnuts are sometimes added for texture, and it's often served as a snack or quick breakfast. It's a humble, homey dessert that brings comfort without breaking the bank, and it's a great way to use what's on hand. 19. Cornbread. Cornmeal, a bit of flour and milk or buttermilk, baked until golden. Great with beans, soup, or even drizzled with honey. Cheap and satisfying. The crust gets beautifully crisp in a hot cast iron skillet, and a pinch of sugar balances the corn's natural flavor. Some Amish cooks add a handful of cheese or chopped jalapenos for variation. It's a one-bowl recipe that's ready in under 30 minutes, and perfect for feeding a hungry family fast, with ingredients always found in the pantry. 20. Amish cold slaw. Finely shredded cabbage with a sweet and sour dressing made from sugar, vinegar, and mustard. It keeps for days and adds crunch to any meal. Often made in large batches, this slaw gets better as it sits, allowing the flavors to fully meld. Some recipes include celery seed or thin-sliced carrots for color and extra bite. It's a must-have at picnics, potlucks, or simply as a side with fried chicken or sandwiches. Crisp, tangy, and incredibly budget-friendly. It's a true Amish classic. 21. Rice pudding. Made from leftover rice, milk, sugar, eggs, and raisins. Slow baked until creamy and fragrant with cinnamon. A perfect way to stretch a small bowl of rice into a dessert. The Amish often add a splash of vanilla or nutmeg to deepen the flavor, and it can be served warm or cold. Some even stir in dried fruit like chopped dates or currants for extra texture. It's budget-friendly and a great way to use up leftover rice, turning it into something comforting and truly satisfying. 22. Fried apples and onions. Sweet and savory. Thinly sliced apples and onions fried in butter, often served alongside pork but good enough to eat on their own. The Amish often add a splash of apple cider vinegar or maple syrup for an extra punch of flavor. The apples caramelize gently while the onions soften into golden sweet ribbons. This dish is especially popular in the fall, when apples are plentiful. It's a skillet full of comfort, made from pantry basics and farm produce that costs next to nothing. 23. Amish potato salad. Boiled potatoes, eggs, onions, and a sweet mayo-based dressing. This salad is creamy, tangy, and can be made in big batches for less than $5. The Amish sometimes add a touch of mustard, celery seed, or pickles for crunch and flavor. It's a staple at potlucks, picnics, and church gatherings. The key is chilling it long enough so the flavors meld. You can make a huge bowl that feeds a crowd or stretch leftovers across multiple meals. It's hearty, homey, and wallet-friendly. 24. Noodles and Gravy. Homemade noodles topped with beef or chicken gravy, sometimes with just the drippings. It's simple, cheap, and sticks to your ribs. The Amish roll out egg noodles by hand, often using just flour, eggs, and a pinch of salt. The gravy is usually made from pan drippings, thickened with flour and a splash of milk or broth. This dish turns scraps of meat and flour into something deeply comforting. It's great for using up leftovers and feeding the whole family on a dime. 25. Boiled dinner. A one-pot meal of potatoes, cabbage, carrots, and a bit of meat like ham or sausage. The broth is flavorful, and leftovers are even better the next day. Everything simmers together until tender, making cleanup easy, and the house smells amazing. The Amish sometimes toss in turnips or onions, depending on what's in season. This is a true bottom-of-the-fridge meal that tastes far better than it should for the cost. Serve with cornbread or bread and butter for a full meal. 26. Baked apples. Core some apples, stuff them with oats, cinnamon, and a touch of sugar. Bake until soft. Tastes like pie, but far cheaper and healthier. The Amish often drizzle with a bit of molasses, maple syrup, or even a pat of butter for added richness. As they bake, the apples soften and the oats soak up the juices, turning gooey and golden. It's a rustic dessert that feels indulgent but uses only a handful of pantry staples. Great with vanilla sauce or a splash of cream. 27. Amish brown butter noodles. Egg noodles, tossed with butter, cooked until golden brown. Add a sprinkle of parsley or black pepper. This humble side costs next to nothing and pairs with almost anything. The brown butter gives a nutty, rich flavor that feels far fancier than the ingredients suggest. Sometimes a bit of broth or sour cream is added to stretch the dish or make it creamy. It's fast, filling, and perfect for busy weeknights or large family meals. Comfort food at its finest, with no fuss at all. 28. Amish white bread. Flour, yeast, sugar, water, and oil. That's it. Soft, fluffy, and better than store-bought. One loaf costs less than 50 cents to make. The Amish bake these in large batches, often several loaves at a time, filling the home with the scent of fresh bread. It slices beautifully for sandwiches or toast, and leftovers become perfect French toast or stuffing. You don't need fancy tools, just a bowl, your hands, and a warm place to rise. Simple ingredients, unbeatable taste. 29. Pickled beets. Beets, vinegar, sugar, and a few spices, that's all you need. Sweet and tangy, they last months in the fridge or pantry. The Amish often grow their own beets and use a hot brine to preserve them in jars. Some add cinnamon sticks or cloves for a spiced version, perfect for winter. Pickled beets brighten up meals, pair well with meats, and even go on sandwiches or salads. They're vibrant, tasty, and a great way to preserve garden harvests on a budget. Amish cinnamon rolls. Dough made from scratch, rolled with brown sugar and cinnamon. Icing is optional. They're sweet enough on their own. Serve warm from the oven for a cheap breakfast treat. The dough is soft and buttery, sometimes made with mashed potatoes or scalded milk for extra fluffiness. A drizzle of glaze made from powdered sugar and cream is the finishing touch. Perfect. Sunday mornings, or just because. One batch feeds allowin' and costs just a few cents per roll. Number 31. Tomato gravy over biscuits. Tomatoes cooked with butter and flour into a thick gravy, poured over biscuits. It's tangy, rich, and a smart way to use up summer produce. The Amish often make this dish when fresh tomatoes are overflowing from the garden. They peel and crush ripe tomatoes, then simmer them with butter, flour, and sometimes a splash of milk to make the sauce extra creamy. The result is a velvety, slightly sweet and savory gravy that transforms simple biscuits into a full meal. Some families add a pinch of sugar or herbs to balance the acidity, while others serve it with a side of bacon or eggs for breakfast. It's hearty, humble, and deeply comforting, a perfect example of making the most out of seasonal abundance. Number 32. Grape nut pudding, a baked custard dessert made with grape nut cereal, milk, eggs, and sugar. It's filling, nostalgic, and surprisingly delicious. This dish dates back generations and is a favorite at Amish gatherings and potlucks. The cereal sinks to the bottom during baking, forming a soft, nutty crust while the top turns into a creamy custard. Vanilla and a dash of nutmeg or cinnamon are often added for extra flavor. It's typically baked in a water bath to prevent curdling and served warm or chilled. Some families like to top it with whipped cream or drizzle it with maple syrup. It's inexpensive to make and a clever way to turn an ordinary cereal into a comforting, old-fashioned dessert that feeds many and satisfies every sweet tooth. Number 33. Cucumber and onion salad. Sliced cucumbers and onions soaked in vinegar and sugar. Refreshing, cheap, and lasts days in the fridge. This salad is a staple during summer months, when cucumbers are coming in by the basketful from Amish gardens. The vinegar-sugar brine gives the vegetables a sweet and tangy punch, and sometimes a few mustard seeds or celery seeds are tossed in for extra zing. The longer it sits, the better it gets, making it an ideal make-ahead dish. It pairs well with grilled meats, fried chicken, or even simple sandwiches. Some versions include a splash of cream or sour cream for a silky twist. It's one of those simple dishes that's surprisingly addictive. Crisp, cold, and full of bright flavor, especially on a hot day. 34. Rhubarb sauce. Chopped rhubarb simmered with sugar into a sweet tart sauce. Serve it over oatmeal, pancakes, or ice cream. A great use for garden rhubarb. The Amish grow rhubarb in abundance and use it in everything from pies to preserves. Rhubarb sauce is one of the easiest and most versatile treats to make. Sometimes a touch of lemon juice or vanilla is added to enhance the flavor. It's cooked until the stalks break down into a soft, jammy texture. Stored in mason jars in the fridge, it lasts for weeks and can be spooned over yogurt or baked into muffins. Some even freeze it in small batches for winter use. With just a few ingredients and minimal effort, this sauce turns a tart, fibrous plant into a delightful homemade topping. 35. Amish Peanut Butter Spread. A sweet spread made with peanut butter, marshmallow fluff, and corn syrup. Perfect for bread, crackers, or apple slices. A little goes a long way, and kids love it. This iconic Amish treat is often served with homemade bread at lunch, or even alongside church meals. It's creamy, sticky, and incredibly satisfying, almost like a dessert in a jar. Some versions also add honey or a splash of maple syrup for extra depth. Others swap the corn syrup for molasses to create a deeper flavor. It's often whipped until fluffy and smooth, making it easy to spread on anything from toast to celery sticks. Because it's so rich, a single batch can last a long time. Sweet, simple, and purely indulgent, it's childhood comfort food in its purest form. The Amish know how to stretch a dollar without sacrificing comfort or flavor. These recipes are more than meals, they're traditions passed down through generations. So if you're looking to save money and eat well, give these humble dishes a try. You'll be amazed at how far your pantry can take you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell for more simple, budget-friendly living ideas. See you in the next one.